I am soaking wet from the rain. I am not wearing pants. And I am eating Fruity Pebbles without the milk. So this is the most real talk video you are ever gonna get. Because I haven't been taking my camera around with me to like vlog where I'm going. I'm probably gonna do that this weekend, so don't worry. It's just been a busy work week. I went on my Twitter and I was like, I'm going to talk about music tonight. What would you like me to what would you like me to talk about? And I got a couple responses. And I also had things that I wanted to talk about too, like albums that I've been listening to. And so I'm going to do those, and I'm also going to do the fun little requests that you guys had. So that'll be fun. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is David Bowie. A couple hours ago, he came out with a new single. This is like the 4th time that I've had to try and formulate sentences about this. Because of the magic of editing, I've been able to just sort of like fast forward to this. And the thing is, here's what I'm going to tell you. It does not sound like anything David Bowie has ever done before, but also still has like references to his previous catalog. So he's great at evolving, and you should be listening to him, and it's also dark as fuck and creepy as shit. And it's exactly what I've been looking for in contemporary music. 2015 has been like an amazing year for music, and he is just sort of like, this single is probably going to be my favorite thing that has happened this year. Because Frank Ocean decided not to put out an album. Maynard came out with a record, and so did Chris Corner, but like they aren't David Bowie. But anyway, so like that's going to be a tall order. I still have to sit and make my top 20 like albums of the year, so things could change, but for right now, Black Star by David Bowie is my favorite single of this entire year. Just listen to it and fall in love, and remember that David Bowie is a legend and not of this planet. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be Karina Round. Karina Round also tours with Pussifer. She is featured on pretty much all of the Pussifer albums of the last like 3 years, I think. Yeah, she was on Donkey Punch, she was on Conditions of My Parole, and now she's on Money Shot. I saw her because, like, the only reason obviously I know her is because she's playing with Pussifer, but she's an incredible musician in her own right. Her solo work is... Her solo EPs actually contain some of my all-time favorite lyrics. Like, when you listen, I want you to listen to a song called Do You. And she is almost like she's almost a contemporary PJ Harvey in the way she delivers her lyrics. Like, there is a sassiness and there is a rage that is sort of just like just boiling under her tone. The way she delivers her lyrics, there's almost this like possessive angst that just comes out of her. And it's also like very seductive, so I highly recommend that you listen to her. Who else do I want to talk about? So there's a band called Aaron, actually called Artificial Animals Riding on Neverland, but like, who the fuck wants to say that? That is a mouthful. They actually released an album. They're from France. They released an album called We Cut the Night. And it is almost impossible to find in this country. I have been struggling. It came out in September. I have no way of listening to this album. It is not on Spotify. It is not being uploaded like illegally to YouTube. And like, trust me, outworking copyright. I know you shouldn't, but I want to hear it, you know? And I think the only way I'm going to get it is if I go on Discogs and I get it imported, which is going to cost me upwards of like $25. But you know what? It's totally worth it. The things that I've been hearing from this record, stunning. Probably going to be top 5 albums of this year. Very good at evolving their sound into something that is like pushing their technique forward. I don't think, because this is what, their 3rd album? The third, because they did a soundtrack, and I don't really count that as a record. So this is like their 3rd full-length LP, and none of their albums sound the same. Like, there are pieces of them, like you know that it's an Aaron album, but it's so evocative. It's so like great at evolving. Oh, I love them. Anyway, so the song I need you to listen to is called We Cut the Night, or go to the Blue Sun Noir EP and just listen to the whole thing. That's on Spotify. I'm sure because a lot of you live in Europe, you could probably just listen to the entirety of the new album and rub it in my face, and then I will cry. You know, I had a couple other things that I want to talk about, but I'll probably save them for later because, you know, I got to tease you. So first thing that like was a request was Whiskey Tricks wanted me to talk about music genres and the relationship they have with emotion. I want to do this, and I said that I would, but also I don't think I am. Not in this video. I think you are actually going to be very lucky and get a whole series out of that. And I don't know if any of you know, my actual master's thesis was on music soundtracks, and was on film soundtracks, and the marketing of nostalgia. And not just any nostalgia, is prosthetic memory, which is sort of this like false nostalgia that a younger generation would feel watching sort of like a retro film, something that took place in the 70s, hearing David Bowie and feeling like they were present in that time. That was my master's thesis, so like music and emotion and memory is a very big thing. I have to sneeze. Thank you. Yeah, so I think I'm going to say that because this is something I could talk about for hours, and I kind of want to break it up into like a whole series where I talk about like music genre and what an actual music genre is, and how we come to define them, and like where these classifications are coming from and how they were decided, and like the fact that there actually are no music genres. It's just words that we have to use in order to like linguistically qualify what sounds are, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to talk about this, but probably not tonight and not in this video, because this is a very long series that I could do and probably will do at some point. So it coming, just wait. Naracha? I can't pronounce your Twitter name, honey. I tried very hard. I also tried with your LG name and it just does not work. So I'm going to try with Naracha. Am I right? I don't know. It's Spanish. I'm terrible at Spanish. I speak French. I'm not good at this. She wanted me to talk about Manic Street Preachers. I have no context for how she wanted me to speak about them. But talking about Manic Street Preachers is not something I need context for. I can just do that. So I'm going to do that. You see me and you see Dee all over your timelines on a regular basis. And I know that I go off and I talk about some shit. Like I'm usually crying about Maynard or Chris Corner or like some like obscure like artist coming out of the underground in Brooklyn, because that's me, and you can ignore that and you can live your life and that's fine, and I will keep making you your playlist and I will keep writing all of these like little music blogs. But Dee is on her end talking about Manic Street Preachers, and sometimes I join in that conversation, and that is a conversation I need you guys to listen to. And I know that I said that Dee is your resource. You should be talking to her about Manic Street Preachers, because she can literally take all of your music interests and point you in the direction of a Manic Street Preachers album that will have all of that in spades. So you need to ask her, like if you see us and you're like, I want to get into Manic Street Preachers, or who are Manic Street Preachers, because these two kids do not keep, like they never shut up about them, talk to her, because she will help you and she will guide you and she will change your life. I kind of got pissed off because there's a whole time when drones came out and there was the whole thing about like punk music, and there was the whole thing about like, it's, you know, it's like, it's, you know, it's a rock opera about like revolting and like punk aesthetics, and like, great, Muse did a great job. But if you want an actual like rock band with a punk aesthetic, you need to be listening to Manic Street Preachers. There is not a single song, not a single record that they have made, even Everything Must Go is punk. They're like, cause you, okay, all right, this is like a whole, I would need to write this all out. There's like a whole thing that goes into this, but like even like the Britpop mindset that they were trying to write in became punk. The Girl Who Wanted to Be God is probably my all-time favorite Manic Street Preachers song, and it comes from Everything Must Go, but also if Everything Must Go did not exist, Nobody Loves You would be my all-time favorite Manic Street Preachers song. And if that didn't exist, No Surface All Feeling would be my all-time favorite Manic Street Preachers song. So I don't really give a shit if you listen to any, I mean I do, you should probably be listening to everything I'm talking about, but if you decide that I don't really want to listen to all that crap, she talks a lot and it's a lot to remember, but if you're going to listen to anything that I'm talking about, listen to those three Manic Street Preacher songs, please. Like, I will link them in the thing below, and just, please, I'm being so nice, please, just do it for me. White Chimes, my darling Jessica, wanted me to talk about One Direction's new album. Not something I ever thought I would be discussing. Now here's the thing. I do not mind One Direction as people. Like in the world of pop music, there are infinitely worse stars that could be directing a culture. And you know what? Good for them. They are talented. They get to do their job. Like, I hope they live big, kids. Do them. The problem I have with One Direction is because I think, like, okay, so that whole thing that happened with Best Song Ever where everyone was like, it's like The Who. Yes, it was. Okay, I'm not even gonna pretend. The minute I heard that song, I was like, oh my god, it's The Who. It's literally Baba O'Reilly. I think that was a mistake. Like, I think that was not intentional. But now I listen to Made in the AM, and I hear so many other pop songs. And this happens a lot when I listen to top 40 pop music. Like, I hear other songs constantly being, like, recycled or tropes being recycled. And, like, that is the game. I know that. I'm not here to, like, try and be like, it's a problem, we need to fix it. Like, no, it sells, it works. That's, like, label life, the Billboard, that's what it does. I listened to a couple songs on Made in the AM, and I had that same feeling with the whole, like, this sounds exactly like this. And I think at this point, it's almost intentional. If you're making a joke about it, or, like, you're doing that intentionally, like, okay, at least, like, whatever. But I think there's something pretty I don't want to say problematic, but I think it is kind of, like, condescending to try and pass it off as original when you have an educated audience who can almost hear it. So, like, an example would be the opening song, Hey Angel. The minute I heard it, it was very Robbie Williams. Like, so Robbie Williams is, like, I started singing Rock DJ in the middle of, like, that chorus, and that's, like, I shouldn't do that. I should be singing One Direction's lyrics in that chorus. And I think, what was the next song? Was it Drag Me Down? Is Genuine's Pony? So, like, I kept hearing all of this music, and then I think, what was, like, Infinity was very Elton John. There was a moment where it was, like, Long Way Down was Elton John. Infinity felt like Oasis to me. Like, it just feels like things are being recycled. And, you know, it's a great pop record. For what it is, it's a great pop record. Like, you know, you get it. You listen to a couple minutes and you get it. When it comes to being a pop record, it is great at what it is. I appreciate it, and I respect it, and I know that there is a whole world of people listening to this type of music, but unfortunately, it's just not me. I'm not gonna say that it's a piece of crap, because I've heard worse. I've definitely heard worse music. And I think for them, I've absolutely heard an evolution in their sound, in their songwriting, in their lyrics, in their voices. You can tell that they're growing as a band. And they absolutely deserve the break that they are taking. Let the boys have a nap. I don't think they've slept in about 8 years. Just let them breathe. I appreciate it. I respect it. I have listened to it. It is unlikely that I'll listen to it again. I know that it is a great pop record, but I don't listen to pop very often. Because I can hear everything that it is trying to reference. And it gets to a point where those references are not references anymore. It's like, it's imitation. It sounds like I'm being very harsh, but it's because I hear that they're extremely talented, and I want them to push harder and do more and write and be fully original. So that's how I feel. Good record, solid, probably a B. Not for me. So this has been fun. It's almost a 20-minute video, and I've done nothing but sit here and talk about music, so I'm gonna have to edit the fuck out of this. And I didn't even eat my fruity Pebbles.